Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Daybreak. I'm your host, Taylor Fife.
And I'm your host, Delaney Bomas.
This morning's top stories start with who recently got censored in USG.
And what new venue is rumored to be opening downtown.
Wake up everyone, because here comes Daybreak. Start your morning with us.
Only on Daybreak. So this fall weather that we've been having, I've been living for. I'm ready for a pumpkin patch. I'm ready for sweaters, and I really hope it sticks around.
Yeah, I know. I love it too. I like wearing my sweaters. You're absolutely right about that. Well, we have a Daybreak debut today for weather. Michaela Weiler, what do you have for us?
This weekend is going to be a bit cloudy. Today, with the high of 71 with a low of 53. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit more chilly, so you may want to bring your jean jacket out with the high of 67 and the low of 49. And as we go into Sunday, it's going to get a little bit warmer. So if you do plan on going to that Steelers game, it's going to be great tailgating weather. And as we go into the week, it will get a little bit warm with a high of 80 to 81, and then your lows to 65 and 57. Back to you, Taylor and Delaney.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, I'm sorry to say that you're not going to get that fall weather you were hoping for.
I really just want to go to pumpkin patch. Like, that's all I've been wanting for weeks now.
Yeah, well, maybe next week.
Maybe
There's
next
still
week.
hopes.
Still hopes out there. Well, here's your city and campus news. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust is looking into bringing a first-run movie theater downtown. KDKA reports that there is a plan to turn the Bally's Sports Club on 6th Street into a multi-screen movie theater. Pittsburgh has not had a first-run movie theater downtown since the 1980s. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust has owned the Bally's Sports Club for around 8 years, and they recently received $1 million grant from the state. That, along with millions from private donors, would help convert the space. While they are still short around $11 million, the project is a definite go, and the trust expects the theater to be open in 2020.
Residents in the city's Allegheny West section are on alert after multiple tire slashings occurred on Sunday. The Trib Live reported that officers were called to the 800 block of North Lincoln Avenue for the slashings. Officers found 3 separate vehicles that were affected. Police believe that the incidents occurred between 6:30 p.m. on Saturday night and the early hours of Sunday.
A new regulation about sprinkler systems was introduced to the Pittsburgh City Council on Tuesday. KDKA reports that these regulations would require sprinklers in all buildings that are 75 feet or higher, which are typically high-rise buildings with at least 6 stories. This would also make changes to Pittsburgh's fire code, incorporating the regulations into city law. This new regulation comes after a May 2017 fire that took the life of a 75-year-old woman. Building owners would have 12 years to comply with the new regulations, which are now part of the state building code.
United Student Government President Kaylee Kearns avoided a possible impeachment trial on Monday's USG meeting due to a tie-breaking vote by Vice President Brittany Arp. An anonymous USG senator submitted 4 censures against President Kearns. According to USG officials, a censure is equal to a reprimand. The 4 censures included unethical conduct, a number of unreported meetings that occurred over the summer, and a failure by the Senate to also pass a budget over the summer. Another censure included the executive order President Kearns made to discontinue ticket subsidies for the Pittsburgh Playhouse. President Kearns spoke about her reasoning behind the executive order during Daybreak's interview with her last week. According to USG officials, only 3 censures are needed to put a president through an impeachment trial. USG tabled the last censure for next Monday's meeting.
Point Park University is mourning the loss of the late men's basketball coach Bob Rager. According to co-sports editor of the Globe, Allison Schubert, Coach Rager retired with 381 wins, the most all-time wins as a head basketball coach in the city of Pittsburgh. According to Point Park Student Affairs Coach Rager was head coach for 27 seasons from 1989 to 2016 and spent a total of 34 years at Point Park as an NAIA player, assistant coach, head coach, and athletic director. According to an email sent to the Point Park community by Executive Assistant of the Office of Student Affairs, Charlene Kuswick, quote, Point Park was a better place because of Bob, but the impact he had on the university and the students will never be forgotten, end quote.
According to an email by Student Affairs, Point Park student newspaper, The Globe, is launching a new project this semester that will deliver Globe articles straight to student and faculty's email accounts every Wednesday. According to online editor of The Globe, Nicole Pampina, quote, "The idea behind it was to increase online engagement," end quote. Pampina also stated that the new project was inspired by the New York Times morning briefing. She also stated that, quote, "We wanted a more direct way to reach our readers. By putting links in the email briefing, they can go right to our website," and encourages them to read our articles and go to our website, end quote. The Globe's first email briefing was sent out to students and faculty this Wednesday. Well, Delaney, I think we all have to stay tuned to see what happens at USG's meeting on Monday, because if this last censor is approved and goes through by the senators, President Kearns could face that possible impeachment trial. So we'll be sure to follow this meeting and give you the latest details to that next Thursday on Daybreak.
We'll be for sure watching that. That's a big news happening on campus that we definitely need to follow.
Right.
Coming up after the break, what local favorite has won their first regular season game?
And what controversy has happened with the United Nations?
Stay tuned because you'll find all that and more only on Daybreak.
Alright, go. Go to our new website, uview.pointpark.edu. Go, 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 go!
Join UView and find your herd.
Be like, join EOP. And 3, 2, join EOP.
I was just saying, grab them now, or else I can sit up.
Yeah.
Join on point with politics. 3, 2, 1.
Join Pioneer Sideline.
Loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Kiara Fry with your latest sports news. The Pittsburgh Steelers got their first win of the season Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. The 30-27 victory lifted the Steelers' record to 1-1-1. Quarterback Ben Roethlisberger threw for an impressive 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. Steelers tight end Vance McDonald scored the Steelers' first touchdown on a 75-yard pass play after throwing a vicious stiff arm to Buccaneers safety Chris Conte. The Steelers' defense improved from previous games, producing 4 important turnovers, leading the Steelers to a 20-point lead at the half. The defense intercepted Ryan Fitzmagic 3 times in that first half. But Tampa Bay made a comeback in the second half, reducing the Steelers' 20-point lead to only 3 points as the score reached 30-27. Still absent from the Steelers' Week 3 matchup with Tampa Bay was star running back Le'Veon Bell. According to ESPN, the Steelers are now listening to trade offers for Bell. After the report was announced, Bell tweeted early Sunday morning saying, quote, "Sometimes a simple thank you can go a long way. I feel like too many people take me for granted," end quote. Whether Bell plays for the Steelers or another team later this season, many people are questioning whether or not he will be able to perform when he gets back on the field. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. The Steelers will be playing the Ravens on Sunday at Heinz Field in prime time. Moving from the football field to the baseball field, the Pirates are looking strong as they finish up their 4-game series with the Chicago Cubs, who are currently ranked at number 1 in the Central Division of the National League. The Pirates won their first 2 games of the series but fell to the Cubs in their most recent game 6-7. The Pirates season will end with a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds this weekend. And while baseball season is winding down, hockey season is just getting started. The NHL preseason games started last week, and the Penguins have won 2 of their 5 preseason games so far.
The Penguins will take the ice for their final preseason matchup tonight against the Blue Jackets. Their season opener will be against the Washington Capitals next Thursday at PPG Paints Arena. That's it for sports. Let's turn it over to the Daybreak News Desk with Andrew Brinker. Andrew?
Thanks, Kiera. At the United Nations on Wednesday, President Donald Trump accused China of meddling in the upcoming midterm elections. Per the New York Times, in the heightened speech at the United Nations Security Council, Trump said, quote, "They do not want me or us to win because I am the first president to ever challenge China on trade." The president provided no evidence or background information to support his claim. According to the BBC, Trump's claims come on the heels of a trade war with China that has been heightening since his election in 2016. Chinese Prime Minister Wang Yi decisively denied the allegations, saying, quote, "China has all along followed the principle of non-interference in other countries' domestic affairs." Midterm elections will take place on November 6th. Turning now to the Supreme Court, at least 4 women have now accused nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct after a string of new allegations released on Wednesday. According to the New York Times, one of the judge's newest accusers, Julie Swetnick, claimed that she witnessed him become extremely intoxicated on multiple occasions and treat women in an abusive and aggressive manner. She further alleges seeing Kavanaugh and his friend Mark Judge participate in gang rapes, and that Kavanaugh was present on a night that she was the victim of a gang rape. Swetnick did not specify the role the nominee played in the incident. Additionally, Deborah Ramirez alleges that she and her then Yale classmate Kavanaugh were at a party when Kavanaugh, clearly inebriated, exposed himself to her. Ramirez has admitted that she was also intoxicated during the incident, but was confident it was Kavanaugh who exposed himself. And finally, NBC News reports that in a phone call between the Senate Judiciary Committee and Kavanaugh, an anonymous letter sent to Republican Senator Cory Gardner was discussed. The letter described an incident the accuser's daughter witnessed that involved Kavanaugh physically assaulting another woman after a party. While Republicans have continued to stand behind Kavanaugh, the state of the nomination has been thrown even further into chaos. With the highly anticipated testimony of Christine Blasey Ford on Thursday and, according to the Times, a potential floor vote on the nominee on Friday, the new allegations shed an uncertain light on the future of the Supreme Court. Just one swing vote in a closely divided Senate could be the difference for Kavanaugh. That's all for national news. Let's head back over to the couch with Taylor and Delaney.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up after the break, what's the latest innovation Google is bringing to the table?
And what exciting sequels are making a return to the box office? All that and more after the break.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
2-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Nicole Fascino with your timely tech news. Hey Google, tell me something good. This is the new command that Google recently created for their Google Assistant. Just say these words into your Google Home or the Google Assistant app on your phone, and a positive news story will be read right to you. According to Google, they are getting these stories from the Solutions Journalism Network, which is an organization working to change how people are responding to the stories that they hear on the news. According to this network, the news typically goes like this. Reporters get the information, tell it to the public, and then nothing else really happens after that. The Solutions Journalism Network's goal is to actually take this issue and try to solve it. And by giving us direct examples of people already doing this, it will inspire others to go out and do the same. Whether it be a story from the Boston Globe about high schools in the United States offering free college courses to low-income students, or the story of a nonprofit helping military veterans get back into their daily lives from Philadelphia Citizen, Google says that these are positive news stories that come from a variety of sources, including large news stations to small publications. According to Google, the overall purpose of this initiative is to spread the idea that good news is actually happening all around us. That's all for tech. Let's head over to Sarah Ray Wenzeski for the latest entertainment wrap-up. Sarah Ray?
Thanks, Nicole. Last Tuesday, Rihanna's house was broken into. This is the second time this year the star's house has been invaded. According to TMZ, police responded to Riri's home in the Hollywood Hills around 10:30 p.m. Neighbors told officers they saw as many as 3 suspects fleeing the scene in a silver vehicle after the alarm was triggered. Thankfully, Rihanna was not home at the time and is safe. Police are still unaware if suspects made it out with any of Ri's belongings. Again, this is the second break-in and third time police have responded to her home this year. We here at Daybreak send Rihanna well wishes and hope Riri's home will not be seeing police anytime soon. Switching gears to the box office, 2 very exciting movie trailers dropped last week. The first movie is Captain Marvel. According to IMDb, the film is about Carol Danvers, who becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when the Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between 2 alien races. Danvers will be played by actress Brie Larson, who will be alongside other actors such as Jude Law and Samuel L. Jackson. The film is set to be released on March 8, 2019. The second film trailer released last week was for the movie Mary Poppins Returns. This movie is meant to follow the classic 1964 Disney film. This movie has fans thrilled due to its superstar cast. Actors include Emily Blunt, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Meryl Streep, Dick Van Dyke, and so much more. According to IMDb, this new movie takes place in future Depression-era London. Jane and Michael Banks, who are now fully grown, alongside Michael's 3 children, are visited by an eager Mary Poppins. With a little magic, Mary Poppins is able to help the family regain some joy in their lives after a personal loss. The film is set to be released on December 19th, 2018, and we cannot wait to see it. That's all for this week's entertainment wrap-up. Now let's send things back over to our 2 superstars, Delaney and Taylor.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am really excited for that Mary Poppins film. I don't think I've heard anything before now about it, so I'm really looking forward to that.
It's a really good cast. But I do have a question for you. Are you hungry?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, well, good news, because coming up after the break, we're going to play a special game that's featuring breakfast foods, so stay tuned.
The United Student Government at Point Park University, working since the 1970s to solve the issues that matter to you. What concerns do you have about the university? Student life, safety, food service? Send us an email to studentconcerns@pointpark.edu or stop by our office on the 7th floor of the Student Center. You can also attend our weekly open meetings on Mondays at 3:15. Follow us on social media at USG_PPU for more. The United Student Government, by the students, for the students.
The Point Park Sports Network, bringing you live coverage of Pioneer Athletics on Stretch Internet, the home of the River States Conference and the NAIA. Subscribe today for complete access to the Point Park volleyball, baseball, basketball, and soccer teams. Watch live and on-demand broadcasts and don't miss a minute of Point Park Athletics. Head to pointparksports.com/live for broadcast listings. The Point Park Sports Network, your streaming home for Point Park Athletics.
3, 2, 1.
Please visit our website. Please, it's a nice website. Please visit our website. Please.
If you have ever watched television, whether accidentally or on purpose, YouView is for you.
Welcome back to Daybreak, and welcome to our brand new game. So we have 2 of our reporters here, Kiara and Michaela, and we're going to play a fun game of Heads Up consisting of all breakfast foods. So how this is going to go is Taylor and Kiera are going to hold a word to their head, and Michaela and I are describing that word, and you're going to guess what it is. We cannot say the word or any part of the word or any part of like the ingredient. Well, you could say the ingredients, I guess. Just use your discretion, I would say. And then once one of us gets it right or passes, we'll just keep switching. Whoever gets the most right wins. We'll hopefully have a winner at the end of it. All right, so do you want to start, Taylor?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. So you make this on the griddle. It's made with bread, and it's kind of foreign, but not really foreign. It has cinnamon in it. It tastes
French toast.
Yes. Your turn.
Okay, it's in a bowl. It's warm.
Oatmeal?
Yes.
So fast. Okay, your turn. Okay, this one's not usually a breakfast food. You kind of treat yourself with this, and you can have it in the airport sometimes. There's a whole
Coffee.
restaurant. No. There's a whole, it's a food. There's a whole restaurant for it. It sometimes you have icing on it, and it's really good, and it's like round, and you. I don't know what else to say. I really want to say what it is.
You treat yourself with it?
You treat yourself. It's not typically a breakfast food. Like, you wouldn't have this every day. This is like a sweet breakfast food.
Cinnamon roll.
Yes. See? I wanted to say cinnamon.
Okay, it's something you drink. One of the famous breakfast drinks.
Orange juice?
Yes.
These are so good. Okay, so this one is, again, you kind of treat yourself with this. It comes with like almost all breakfast dishes when you're at like restaurants. It's a side dish.
Bacon.
Yes.
It's my favorite thing.
Make it kind of on a griddle or like a flattener type of thing.
Waffles?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. I never would have gotten that. Okay. So this is kind of like waffles, but not really like waffles. You also make it on a griddle. They're flat.
Pancakes.
Yeah. Okay. See, that was fast.
They're a type of potato, breakfast potato.
Hash brown?
Yes.
Oh my God. She said one thing and you got it. Is this our last one?
Yeah, this is my last one.
Oh, geez. All right, go.
Wait, actually, no, wait. Before we do this, can I ask what's everyone's favorite breakfast food?
Oh, that's a good question.
I love French toast. That's definitely my favorite.
That's a good one.
For sure.
I'd have to say French toast too, actually.
Oh, what about you, Taylor?
I don't know. I like French toast as well.
Right.
But I also like Eggs Benedict. Like, I like to be like bougie sometimes. So.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I don't think I've ever had Eggs Benedict, but I would try it, I guess. Eggs aren't my favorite. I like waffles and pancakes, but I love carbs. So that's what I like.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Okay.
Last one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of like if you're being bougie, you get this breakfast food.
Eggs Benedict.
It's not Eggs Benedict. I'm so sorry. You said bougie, and bougie was mine. Okay, so you kind of have it with granola sometimes. I have it in my lunches a lot. I never really have it for
granola.
Yeah, you mix granola, fruit,
yogurt.
Yeah, there we go.
The most famous breakfast ever. In a bowl.
Eggs?
No.
Cereal.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think they have to win. They were faster than we were.
Yeah, they were faster.
We got all of them, but you guys were definitely the faster group.
All right.
Well, I mean, that's all
That's
we have,
the
I
game.
guess.
Yeah.
That's the game.
We were too good at it.
Yeah, we were way too. I think we all just like breakfast foods way too much.
Yeah.
I clearly do not know how to describe things, but that's fine. It's
This
fine.
made me really hungry too. Now I want to go get breakfast now.
For sure, we should go get breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, let's do that after the show. Let's all get
We'll all go
breakfast.
get breakfast. Deal. I'm down. I'm so excited. Well, I mean, I guess that's it.
That's it.
Well, thank you for coming to the show, and make sure you follow us on Facebook at Daybreak on YouView, and find all of our segments on there.
That's it for Daybreak. Tune in next week for the news you need. I'm your host, Taylor Fife.
And I'm your host, Delaney Bomas, hoping your news is good news.